Do you find yourself arguing with your significant other frequently? Well, it's because they're the fucking asshole, right? They don't get you. They don't understand you. They just want to prove they're right and you're wrong, right? Well, if you think so, then guess what? You're doing the same damn thing they're doing. It's fine. It's how we humans roll. We protect who it is that we think we are, and any threat to that is met with either defensiveness and arguing or a cascade into hopeless self-deprecation and depression. But look, someone has to break the fucking cycle, and you're not the boss of them, you're the boss of you, so consider taking some control of your own shit and converting reaction into conscious action by becoming aware of exactly what's going on within the volatile playground of your own thought plane. Disclaimer before I go any further, this doesn't apply to fucking narcissists or people who are actual assholes. All I have to say about them is fuck them. This is for reasonable couples, or triples, I don't judge, who are being unreasonably emotionally activated due to a lack of productive communication, background mental static, and cluttered mind corners. You're kind of a meat battery. Memories are wiring, and if your partner touches one of their live wires to one of your live wires, it triggers a circuit. Then entire memory networks in your wrinkly pink meat computer get all lit up, which dumps brain juice into your blood, causing emotions, and you react. If you take a fucking minute to observe and understand what's going on in there, then you can appropriately discharge that emotional energy so you won't overheat and without frying your partner's circuits. Here's how. First of all, realize that fundamentally it's all your shit. It's all valid, but it's all yours. And your proclivity to be reactive is because you're too busy blaming someone else for your shit. That doesn't mean accept someone being a dick or treating you like shit. It's just more of an inward focus instead of an outward blame. What triggers one person doesn't bother another because fundamentally good behavior or bad behavior is subjective. Some people like a feisty partner. They think it's cute. Some people can't stand feistiness because it looks too much like some nasty shit from some past relationship that's been lit up or some variation thereof. Although it's fundamentally all your shit, that doesn't mean letting someone off the hook for being a shit. It means owning your end of the shit first. Here's the deal. You discharge through your mouth hole. I'm talking about talking. And when you talk about this shit, you don't say the word you at all, period. At least not while you're all heated up and shit. You deploy a lightning bolt of vulnerable honesty. And you tell how you actually feel, not how the other person fucked up somehow. Fuck yeah, it's hard not to say the word you. And yeah, it's difficult being vulnerable, especially when your counterpart is being defensive. But again, someone's got to do it, or you'll stay stuck in a looped circuit. And aren't you tired of that shit yet? Vulnerability is tempered and made easier by being absolutely honest. Honesty is scary shit, but once it's out of you, it's fucking liberating. And the more suppressed it's been and the more difficult it is to say, the more liberated you'll feel after saying it. Now, if you're both extremely activated and you can't manage to be fucking civil in a given moment, it's okay to say that you need to calm down a bit and walk away. So long as you go back to it when cooler heads will prevail. But if you don't eventually deal with it, you know what I'm talking about. It's fine, nothing's wrong, I'm just tired, I gotta go do this or that, yada yada bullshit. If you keep sweeping gunpowder under a rug, pretty soon you'll have a big ass bomb. And it'll get set off by the tiniest, most inconsequential spark, and you'll be like, what the fuck? Communication example. I feel like I'm not good enough. My self-esteem is a shambles. Or I feel like I don't matter or no one cares what I feel. Shit like that, see what I'm saying? No one can dispute how you feel if you leave them the fuck out of it. I'm going to say that again. No one can dispute how you feel if you leave them the fuck out of it. Vulnerable honesty allows you to discharge that emotional energy and gives your partner the opportunity to understand you without triggering their shit, thus passing the same fucking charge back and forth ad nauseum and blowing up your potential for intimacy and happiness. If you trust your partner and you reveal your inner emotions, then they can apply that knowledge to those actions of yours that were hitherto misunderstood or annoying or triggering. Reciprocally, if your partner does reveal their vulnerability and you actually hear it, then instead of thinking your partner is freaking the fuck out about some tiny bullshit little thing, you can see it's not about that little thing. It's about how they feel about themselves. And instead of being like, what the actual fuck, and being repelled, you understand and you feel compassion and you flood in. Vulnerable honesty creates an opening, which is scary as fuck, but necessary to be close to somebody. Now, I'm not saying don't ever tell someone their actions are fucking you up. I'm saying you first have to discharge all that emotional energy to gain understanding about each other and cool the conversation the fuck down before you start saying you this and you that. Do you get it? We have to get over our own fucking selves and hear our partner too. Consider becoming hyper aware of your own self-protection mechanism, which presents as defensiveness, blame, comparison, etc. If you give a shit and or love your partner, then once in a while try giving more of a shit about how you triggered their tender bits than your own need to be right all the fucking time. If you're vulnerable and honest and your partner's not a total shitbird, then they'll flood into that vulnerability with compassion and concern instead of defensiveness. Just be sure you do the same for them, otherwise, maybe you're the shitbird. We're not really fighting with them, it's a much more complicated and difficult battle that's actually occurring. We're fighting ourselves. If you can start dissecting your tendencies and observe your thought process, then you automatically step behind them. And they become things within you instead of you thinking you're those things. And once you start doing that, progress can be made, because if you think you're those thoughts, you'll defend them tooth and nail because you regard those things as part of your bubble skin and you don't want to pop. But if you see them for what they are, temporary electrical fluctuations in your wrinkly pink meat computer, then you'll start knowing yourself and each other. Extra bonus, if your partner is as down with this shit as you are, but if not, you don't have to wait for their asses to catch up to better know thy fucking self and learn how to stand tall in your individual existence and root yourself in knowing that it's okay for you to be you just the way you are. Unless, you are being an asshole. Ultimately, a lot of the shit that bugs you about your partner only bugs you because you recognize it to some degree, because you've got the same shit going on in you in some way. Think about that for a minute. Also, some of the shit that you really liked about your partner in the beginning ends up driving you fucking crazy later on. Shit changes, people change. Keep your partner caught up by communicating. And, ultimately without a partner, you wouldn't be able to bring all your nasty bits into the light of awareness to be electrified, thus discharging your load. Discharging your load. Stay on track, people. That's for after the fight. What the fuck? What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Discharging your mental and emotional load and enabling you to simply be happy. You deserve it. Both of you do. Even when they're acting like an asshole. Even when you're acting like an asshole. All right, off you go. Try not to take yourself so damn seriously all the time, and remember that vulnerable honesty will change your life and relationship. Okay, get after it so you can, get to the makeup sex part. Toodaloo.